So, for businesses, when we talk about sampling, we already know what sample is. So we have different kinds of sample. We have different ways in which we can carry out our sample. So we have the methods of sampling. So we start with the first one, random sampling. We talk about random sampling, the roads. Random sampling gives each member of a group an equal chance of being chosen. So it is random because we have the population already. We just have to choose any one of them. So everyone has equal chance to be chosen. That is the point. Excuse me, guys. Sorry, guys. When did we stop in economics? Can I have a paper? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Are we done with chapter 2 or let's see? Yeah, this is chapter 2. We're going to chapter 4. Okay, it's okay. That's sorry. Okay. Chapter 4. Thank you. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm going to quickly recap it. Yeah, we said, as a business, we already know we want to use a sample. But what kind of sample do we want to use? That takes us to sampling methods. So we have three types of sampling methods. We have random sampling, we have quota sampling, and we have stratified. Stratified means the combination of both random and quota. So let's read from this random. So for random sampling, they said it gives each member of a group an equal chance of being chosen. So for random sampling, if we are using random sampling, it means every individual in that group, that targeted population, can be chosen as a respondent. I'm seeing the foul play from you guys. I'm just going to kick both of you out. That's it. I'm talking about both of you. I'm just going to kick you out, and nobody's going to bring you back in here all through the day. So for random sampling, we use random sampling when we want to give everyone equal chance to be chosen as a respondent. Do we get random sampling here? The targeted population, we want to give everyone in there equal chance to be a respondent. Do we get the point? Okay. So, in other words, the sample is selected at random. Rather like picking numbers out of a hat, today computers can be used to produce a random list of numbers, which are then used as the basis for selecting the sample. However, it assumes that all members of the group are exactly the same, which is not always the case. That's a problem. A small sample chosen this way may not have the characteristic of the population. It might not represent, it might not be representative of that population. Therefore, a very large sample would have to be taken to ensure that it was representative. It would also be expensive for a business to draw up a list of the whole population and then to contact and interview them. So, everything about random sampling is said here. The next time you look back, you are out of this class. It's recorded. The next time you look back, talking to you, you have to discuss. So for random sample, we already got what random sampling is here. Here we are giving everyone equal chance to be chosen. That is the point. But what is the problem about using random sampling? It might not be a true representative of the whole population. That's the first thing. And the second point they make here is that it is also expensive because you have to draw up a whole list to start choosing from. Do you get the point here? Yes. We have to draw up a whole list to start choosing from. So that's why random sampling is not maybe ideal. So they said, okay, so that's about that. And it's also, they said, a small sample chosen this way may not have the characteristics of the population. It might not represent the view of the population. We talked about that already. So random sampling gives everyone equal chance to be a respondent. That's the first point. Two, it is used to get information, about giving everybody equal chance to get information, thinking that those information would be representative of the whole view, which might not always be the case. Do we understand random sampling here? Is it clear, please, or not?
Can you repeat it?
Sure, I will. For random sampling, it simply means selecting randomly. You select to give equal chance to everyone within the targeted population to be a respondent. That is what a random sampling is. But the problem about using random sampling is that one, it might not really represent the view of the whole targeted population. And it is time consuming too, because you have to draw up a list that you, after having drawn up the list, then you start choosing from each list. Is random sampling clear?
Yes.
Any question about random sampling? No. Good. I'm going to write any details about it. So we'll go to quota. For quota sampling involves the target population being segmented into a number of groups that share specific characteristics. This may be based on the age and gender of the population. For example, interviewers are then given targets for the number of people out of each segment who they must interview. For example, an interviewer may be asked to interview 10 males between the ages of 18 to 25 or 15 females aged between 45 to 60 and 60. Once the target has been reached, no more people from that group are interviewed. The main advantage of this sampling method is that it is more cost-effective than other methods. It's also useful where the proportion of the different groups within the population are known. However, results from quota sampling are not statistically representative of the population and are not chosen randomly. Now, for quota sampling, here you're going to choose based on the characteristic of the population. So definitely here we could have 10 students here. One way or the other, 2 of you would have almost the same characteristics. So because 2 of you have almost the same characteristics, we choose. We choose one out of you, we choose one out of you, we choose one out of you. So that's about quota sampling. Yeah, but the problem about quota sampling that they said here is that it's not, we have said the problem is the quota sampling is not statistically representative of, because when we have three of you having the same characteristic and we are choosing one out of the 3, does one represent the 3? It might not. So statistically, it does not represent the targeted population. Do you get the problem about quota sampling here? Yeah, I think it's clear, right?
Yes.
You don't spend so much. It is cost effective because you're not going to spend so much. Because it's about quota. You have the targeted numbers that you need. As soon as the number is reached, you are done with that method. Do we get the point? So I'm quickly going to summarize quota sampling. For quota sampling, you're segmenting the population based on characteristics. And you have certain figures or targets, certain numbers to reach. As soon as that number is reached, you are done with that target population. But the problem about using quota sampling is that it is not statistically representing the view or it's not statistically representing the population. Is it clear?
Yes.
Any question about quota sampling?
No.
So we check stratified. Then I'll write everything about them. For stratified, this method of sampling is also random. However, unlike the method described above, stratified sampling is where the sample is divided into segments or strata based on previous knowledge about how the population is divided up. For example, a business may be interested in how the employment status affected the demand for food products. It might divide the population into different income groups, such as higher managerial and professional occupations, small employers and self-employed workers. A random sampling could then be chosen from each of these groups making sure that they were the same proportions of the sample in each category as in the population as a whole. Therefore, in the example, if the population have 10% of small employers, the sample must also have 10%. Stratified sampling is a popular method. It's a popular method because it makes the sample more representative of the whole group. For stratified sampling, like I said earlier, you combine quota and random. But the advantage about using stratified sampling is that it allows you to represent the whole population. Why? Because you base them on characteristics and you ensure that each quota is chosen. So that means if I'm taking 5% from this group, I'm taking 5% from that group. So each group will have the same representation. That is why it truly represents the view of the whole. Do you understand stratified there? So I'm going to write it 3 now. So start with random. Please write. Please look at the board. For random sampling, I said it's a sample method which gives equal chances to individuals within the group to be a respondent. So the advantage is that everybody could be chosen. So you are choosing, it is not biased. That's the point. It is not biased because it gives everyone equal chances. Not biased. I think we get the point, please. This might not, the problem about it is that it might not represent the view of the whole population, and it is time consuming because we are choosing at a random. We are choosing, so everybody will be chosen. But the problem about it is that those that are choosing might not fully represent the others that were not choosing their view. And it is time consuming because you have to draw up a list before you start choosing. We go to quota sampling. This form of sampling sets a target to be reached using a form of segmentation, for example, through characteristics. That means we have to set a target. So we need 100 people from this target population. So as soon as these 100 people, how do we get these 100 people? We need these characteristics, maybe through age, maybe through gender, maybe through religion, or whatever it is, but it will be segmented. That segmentation would have a target which has to be reached. As soon as that target is reached, the sampling method is over. The problem about it is that it does not statistically represent the view of the whole population because it's a quota system. So we need 100 people. Maybe from this characteristic we have, from this group of people, there are maybe 20, but we can only choose maybe 4 from them. So what happens to the rest? So statistically, it does not give us that figure that we average. We cannot have an average figure about each character, each segment. That is the point I'm making here. We can't have average figure for each segment because that's a quota. Then the benefit is that it is cost effective. We won't need to spend so much on that. Then the last one is stratified sampling. For stratified sampling, I wrote, this method is based on using the past knowledge of information of the respondents to randomly choose each respondent. So we already have information from them. So this information, we're going to use our knowledge of that information to randomly choose. So we know about grade 11s. I know about grade 11 business students from the last year. So I could use that to base my research for the grade 11 of this year. Do you get the point here? So because you are using previous knowledge of respondents, you are using previous knowledge you have when you did your research for now. That is about stratified sampling. So the benefit is that it represents statistically the view of the whole population. Because you would have had information, it's the previous information. Whatever information I'm gathering now, it will be additional, or the information I have in the past. This is grade 11 now, right? This was not grade 11 of the last year. So the grade 11 of last year is in grade 12 now. So this grade 11 of last year, I would have got some information from them. So whatever information I'm getting now is either new or same as the ones in the past. So logically, it can really represent statistically. Okay. Because whatever information I've got from those group of the past, from this group of people, I wouldn't need to use it again. I would have to use a new method. Yes. Do you get the point we're making here? Okay. So for stratified sampling, because it involves you using the previous knowledge you have, the previous information you have, it makes it to be easier to statistically represent the respondents. Okay. Any question about it? This is right. So that's then about market research. Yes.